Hey Chicago fans, welcome into Sports Freaks Podcast. I'm your host Patrick Cummings. It's been a while since we did a podcast on the Chicago Bears, in which the NFL season is just right around the corner. And let's get into our topics of the day. We'll first begin with some of the training camp news that have surrounded the Bears. Then I'll give my expectations or my snap prediction for Caleb Williams. How many touchdowns, how many interceptions, how many yards will he have in his second year as a NFL quarterback for the Bears. And then finally, I will give some of my preseason predictions. We're not going to go too in-depth with these preseason games as the Bears. They'll have the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Chiefs. I think those are the matchups the Bears will have in their three preseason games. At the time of this recording, the Bears do play the Dolphins tomorrow. But without further ado, let's get back to the top of the topic of the day list. So it's been a very inconsistent training camp for the Chicago Bears. Lots of good defense from. I've heard a lot of great things about Dennis Allen and some of the pressures put on Caleb Williams. Yesterday, the Bears did have a little practice skirmish with the Miami Dolphins, in which it's been told the Bears defensively dominated. The offense did well too, but the defense was the main story in that practice. Apparently, there are a couple fights that broke out, primarily on the Miami Dolphins side of the ball. There was a couple Bears versus Dolphins fight, but also I think going heading back to the Bears, Caleb Williams has struggled to stay consistent. At the beginning of camp, he struggled. Then he kind of midway point, he was actually doing a lot better. But then now it's very bumpy. Now I will say this: I do think that some of these reports that we are seeing are a little bit overreacted. I think people got to remember. I think what Bears fans have to remember that this is practice. This is not a real game. So I don't like saying give it time, but I think I'll say it. I think we're gonna know. We're gonna know week one. I've said it. I think we're gonna know we're gonna know who Caleb Williams is week one. We're gonna know what this offense is week one. I've heard a lot, as you Bears fans or NFL fans may know, the Bears do take on the Minnesota Vikings in their first game of the NFL season on Monday night. I've heard J.J. McCarthy has been struggling as well, but on top of that, also Jordan Addison is out. But back to my point, J.J. McCarthy, although I've heard he has struggled, he can come out there and throw 5 touchdowns. Same thing with Caleb Williams. I mean, I heard we're hearing all of these hey, he's struggling. It's time to be concerned. Is he the future? But he can go out there and throw 5 touchdowns. You don't know until you see week one. I wouldn't say make your prediction based off what's going on in practice. I think that's the meaning of what I'm trying to say. Make your prediction. Even preseason, I know he will not be playing tomorrow. The Bears will not. Ben Johnson has came out and said there'll be 9 players on each side of the ball, offensively and defensively, that will not play. Caleb Williams being one of them. I don't totally agree with it, but it is what it is. You gotta move on with it. But I was saying, Caleb Williams, just because he does do well in preseason, does not mean he's going to do well in the regular season. He can be really bad in preseason, and he can go out there again week one and just play great. Same thing goes for J.J. McCarthy. Now, let's head into Caleb Williams, our second topic of the day. What will his stat prediction be, or stat to finish the 2025-26 NFL season? So last year, Caleb Williams had 20 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. He was ranked 28th in QBR and 17th in yards. He had 3,541 yards. So This is kind of the yards. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think Caleb Williams will have 23 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. I think he's going to make a lot of mistakes this year. I think Ben Johnson is going to make him work, and I think it's going to cost him 8 interceptions. But I also think it's going to give him 23 touchdowns, so 3 more than last season. With the Chicago Bears. QBR, I have really no idea. I don't really have a prediction for that. I think that's just kind of one of those things where you just gotta let it play out. But I would expect Caleb Williams QBR to go up maybe to 20, maybe 18th in QBR. If not, just a little bit higher or lower. Now, yards, again, kind of like QBR, I'm not quite sure, but I think he'll have more than last year. I'm going to say he will be barely at 4,000, he'll 4,000, and maybe he'll have maybe they'll have like 3,500, or excuse me, 3,800 something. I think that will be his yard prediction. Now, hey, that could be more just because we've seen what we've seen from Ben Johnson in Detroit. But yeah, those are my predictions on Caleb Williams. So the key here is 23 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. I think those are pretty reasonable. I think 8 interceptions. He had 6 last year. I think that's reasonable. 23. Now we head into the preseason, and that we're not gonna, again, like I said, we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time here today, but it's definitely something to talk about. And like I said earlier in this podcast, is that the Bears are going to sit 9 starters on each side of the ball in this Miami Dolphins game. That will be in Soldier Field at the time of this recording. Like I said, it will be tomorrow at 12:00 p.m. I mean, I don't really have an interception. I don't really have a prediction for this. I guess I'm just going to say that I think we're going to see a lot of Ben Johnson, work with Tyson Bagent, I'm assuming. I think Tyson Bagent, I feel like, is a little bit underrated. I think like he can go to a team and start. I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, but I think he's a little bit underrated. But yeah, I think those are my predictions kind of for the first preseason game. Then you got the Bills again in Soldier Field. I think I'm going to assume that game we will see Caleb Williams. If not, it will definitely be week 3 because I think Ben Johnson did say he does want to, or he's going to try and play Caleb Williams in that final game of the preseason. And I think that's pretty. I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, I want him to get reps. I don't want him going into week 1 and not have a single snap under his belt in preseason. I think that's bad development, and that doesn't go for Caleb Williams. That goes for everybody, or all the stars at least. But yeah, those are my. And obviously, the last one against the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a night game, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna say the Bears go. I'm gonna say 1-2 in the preseason. I'm gonna say they go 1-2. In their 3 preseason games that they will play, and that will be the end of this podcast. And before we sign off here today, obviously I'm heading back to school soon, which that means is that I'm going to be going back to those prediction shorts. So I don't know if you guys remember, but in December I started doing those, like, here are my predictions for the NHL matchups today. I'm going to be going back to that, but I will not be going back to that until right around week 1 of the NFL season. I'm not going to do any prediction videos on preseason. I think that's useless. What are you gonna? I mean, what am I gonna do? Say the second string quarterback throws 3 touchdowns? I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go week 1. I'm excited for this year of this channel. I'm excited for this year of hopefully the Bears. I'm excited where this channel goes in the long run this year. As baseball's kind of started wrapping up all of a sudden in the month of August. But yeah, I think I think hopefully we'll have another good year with this channel. I mean, we're at 409 subscribers. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know what you guys think about Caleb Williams. Let me know what you guys think. How many touchdowns, how many interceptions he will have, as well as some of your preseason predictions. What would you like to see in the near future? But that is the end of this podcast. I'm Patrick Cummings, and we'll see you guys next one.